Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. My name is Shay. I'm a full-time reseller on Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari.
I'm Tyler, part-time seller on eBay, Mercari, Poshmark.
And to my left is Luna, who will be in and out of the video because she has lots of energy today. Today's video, we are going to be talking about the hack call that Poshmark had. I got a few messages from you guys saying that you weren't able to attend and you wanted us to cover that for you, so that's what we're going to be doing. And we are also, at the end of this video, going to be giving you some hacks that have worked for us because I want this to be a productive video as I can and not just kind of, complaining about a call.
Well, it was kind of a hack call.
Yeah. So let's get right into that. Do you have a wardrobe choice?
I have a wardrobe choice because it was specifically requested, and I do wear this quite often.
And it's quite drizzly today.
It is. I actually wore this all day today when I was out and about running errands. So thank you, and you know who you are.
But okay, let's get right into it. So this call started off on a interesting note.
Yes. By interesting, you meant they reminded everyone of the terms of service.
Yes.
And saying, please don't bully us. We're here to help you. Be nice. Please be nice.
Yeah.
Stop hitting me.
I got the idea that they were probably responding to the chat from last time, which we talked about in our past video. The fireside chat was interesting. It was a lot. People were upset, and they had every right to be upset, but I don't think Poshmark enjoyed that chat. So they did remind people of that. They also did say right out the gate, this would not be a call about how to hack the new algorithm. They were not going to be touching on the new algorithm at all. That was not what this call was for. So how'd you feel when they said that?
Well, two things. On the fireside chat, they mentioned that was more a question for this call specifically.
Yes. When somebody asked about titles, they did say that.
They were looking for an out on the fireside chat, and they passed it along, and then never actually addressed the question. Two, when they released what this call was going to be about, they mentioned specifically that they were going to be talking about Poshmark searches specifically.
Yes, so I'm going to put that on the screen right here of what they said it was going to be about. So admittedly, going back and reading it, it was a epic marketing ploy, right? So basically it said it was going to be talking all about Poshmark searches and teaching you SEO so you would show up in search. Now they knew that the way we would read that is that it would be talking about the broken search that is existing
optimizing
right now.
With their new algorithm. That's how everyone read it, and that's how they intended you to read it.
Right, but what they meant was that they were going to help you in Google search and in kind of generic search. Now, I'm not going to say the call was complete waste. If you are someone who doesn't know a lot about SEO, if you are a newer seller, if you're someone that just may not know some of the things that were on the call, I bet you there were some things that people could learn.
And there were seemingly a few of those people in the chat. So there was a bit more of a mixed bag of people with different experience levels in the chat.
Yes.
So there were people that were happy with the call and said thank you very much, and this was very helpful. So I think it's a little bit presumptuous to say that it was a complete waste of time for everyone involved. But it was certainly not geared towards the professional resellers
who have been doing it for a long time.
That have been doing this for a long time and have been the most impacted by the algorithm shift.
Yes. So what did they talk about? So they spent a lot of time talking about Google. They talked about, using white backgrounds. They talked about how having a brand in there, having subcategories in there is going to help you pull on Google. They talked about Google Ads. They talked about how they've increased their spend on Google Ads. They really want to make sure that rumor that they're not spending on Google Ads goes away because this is like the third time they've said it. So they really talked about that. They talked about how the ad part of Google Ad is picked. They just talked about basically how would you be found in search overall and like why it can change over time and that kind of thing. Now, if you don't know that information, that can be super useful, but it is also very generic. If you are SEO optimizing your listings already, this didn't come as a surprise.
Well, it's going to be very frustrating that you're already doing that and you're then now not showing up in their app-specific search function like you had been in the past.
Yeah, and I mean, so did I need 30 minutes for that even if I didn't know? Like, I can sum it up for you. Essentially, make sure that you're giving all specific details, color, brand, category, price if you have it, like original price, the new price. If you can do free shipping, do it. That's great. If you can't, you can't, but that does push you up. Clear photos, white backgrounds are preferred, good lighting, all of that kind of stuff. Did I need 30 minutes to tell you that? I didn't. So frustrating. The other thing they kind of touched on was Google Trends. Was interesting to me.
That was an interesting concept, but I don't know how exactly up to date in live Google Trends is compared to their trend information that they have access to.
Yes, I do find when I look at Google Trends that it does tend to lag on what's actually going on. I also don't know if that's exactly where I would look for fashion. I would probably look at, bloggers, or I would look at maybe fashion magazines, maybe I'd look at TV shows, maybe look at Met Gala and other things like that are going on.
Or just the designer brands that are pushing the new
collections
style. Exactly.
Right, exactly. There's plenty of other places. It seems weird that Google Trends is what they chose, but it is something you can drill down on. We did a quick little query of crochet. We got Dua Lipa's crochet bikini. Maybe that's what started the crochet trend. But then it also talked about crochet hats, like that kind of thing. So you can drill down. But I don't find it super useful, and I wouldn't do it for every item. Like that just seems like a lot of work.
Yeah. So it was, long story short, for what they actually said, is it was a whole lot of generic, almost platitudes that are helpful, but they're not drilled down specifically helpful.
Yeah.
For what they've changed.
So at the end of the call, there was actually like a pretty cool thing.
Is it, or are they just catching up to their competition?
I mean, okay, so at the end of the call, they did give a sneak peek of a new tool that is going to be introduced onto Poshmark, which is the saved search tool. So, as you said, I mean, it is kind of just catching up, right? Mercari has the saved search tool. It's been around for a long time that I know of. But it is really kind of cool that Poshmark is doing this. So essentially what they said is that there's going to be an ability to save your search and be notified when other people post items
that match your search.
They were saying that it's good for buyers, obviously, for that they're looking for specific things, but it's also good for sellers. And their example was to find out how to price an item. Like you can save a search for an item that you might be wanting to list or isn't getting a lot of traction, and then you can save a search so you can see other people doing it and see like what they do and kind of emulate them. So I thought that was kind of cool.
I think it's a nice feature. There are other things that I would wish they would prioritize, but it's certainly, that's not a bad thing to add.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's plenty of things. I have a list. But I think that's pretty cool. I think it'll be interesting to see how it works. Now, will it help with sales? I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see. And it's also going to be interesting to see if relisting hurts this or helps. We'll see. To be determined.
So I think we've done enough of kind of bashing on the call a little bit. You want to get to our tips, the reason people are hopefully watching this video, things that we have done and changed to improve your numbers?
Yes. So all of this is going to be anecdotal evidence. Everything we have been trying to work with you guys on lives to test out. But at this point, it's really anecdotal. But this is what I have been doing weekly that has been working for me. So hopefully some of these things work for you. Let us know in the comments if you are doing any of these things, if they are helping. And if you do try them out, do come back and let us know that they're helping. We definitely want to know.
Or if you have something else that we didn't talk about that has upped your numbers or you've seen success with, we would like to know, because we'd like to try to help test that out.
Absolutely.
To confirm that or just build on that.
Absolutely. So number one is community shares. Previous to the algorithm change, I did 0 community shares. I didn't think they were useful. I think that was kind of a common theme in the community that, share your own items, but don't share other people's. It's not really valuable. But after the algorithm change, Roger from Poshmark, says he's from Poshmark, went to Clubhouse and did a kind of a chat, and he said that community shares were helpful. So I figured, why not? So every morning I do 200 community shares. And by that, I mean, I go into a party and I share 200 items from a party that has ended. So far, it increases your notifications, obviously, because people are going to be sharing you back and coming to your closet. But it's also increased my sales. I can tell that I'm getting more activity, more likes, more everything. And anecdotally, other people are noticing the same thing that have tried it. Again, small sample size, so can't say, but that is one thing I am doing. Number 2, this is something the community has been talking about as of late, and it is checking to see if your search filter is changed to just shared or relevance. If it is in just shared, anecdotally, it seems like you're going to be getting more likes, so you can kind of, share your items more, do all that kind of stuff to get seen. If it is categorized to relevance, it seems like you're going to be getting less likes. So the way to get sales that way is going to be using the likers you already have and kind of taking advantage of that. So paying attention to which way you are will kind of give you a gauge for how you should go about that day. I can't tell right now how often it switches. So I've been checking every morning just to kind of see what I'm at. And I also, again, don't know for sure that that is what's happening, but that's what we're seeing anecdotally. Do you want to do number 3?
So the third thing we've been doing, and we've been doing this across eBay as well, is take bad offers, because sales seem to push other sales to you. So if you take a bad sale, even if it's a little bit of profit, obviously try not to take a loss on offers, but take any offer that you can, because that anecdotally will show up with other people coming to your closet and buying other items for better pricing.
Yeah, now this does marry in with another one I have here, which is be aggressive. So the reason for this strategy is twofold. One, we're resellers that have great margins, right? I know a lot of us like to say that we don't because, we shop at the retail store, so maybe our cost of goods is $7 versus a bin shopper who's $1, but overall, we have great margins. A retail store looks at about 60% margin, and we complain if we get under 300% margin. So just keep that perspective in mind. We have the room. So what I've been doing across all platforms, but also Poshmark, is being really aggressive with my first offer, and then also accepting those bad offers that come in. What it does is two things. One, it tells the algorithm that, hey, this person is selling things. We might want to send shoppers their way. But then two, it's also putting activity on the app, which we know Poshmark has been saying again and again and again, activity matters. So you are putting activity on the app, both from the selling and buying perspective. You've got a buyer that's engaging with you, and you're also selling and completing that sale. So you're doing all of those things. It seems to be helping out a lot, and it might hurt a little, but I promise you, it pays in dividends in the long run.
Mean, if you sell 3 or 4 items that are not the profit margin that you want, but it leads to other items, there's still items that you're making money on. You're still getting the money that you more than you paid for the item. In most cases, I don't think you've taken an item that's not been at least double or triple.
No.
For the most part. So you're still making that return, and it's driving other transactions to your closet and store.
Yeah, so keep that in mind. It's definitely helping, and I think that that's something we should keep in mind, even when the algorithm switches back. If it ever does, it won't, but even if things level out, though, keep this in mind, because it definitely is helping overall on all platforms. We'll do a longer video on how it's helping on eBay, but that's another day. So number 5 is relisting your items. Now, we talked about this previously in our strategy for titles, and I will give you a link to that up top so you can see what we talked about with titles. But for relisting, we are noticing that you're getting those shoppers that are searching the just in category, and it's leading to more sales and better price points for those sales. Roger from Poshmark did mention that relisting can hurt you, so I do want to just make sure that we say that. Google does need time to index, so if your shopper is a Google shopper, this may not be something that works for you. We don't get a lot of Google shoppers.
I think the cost benefit for us is that you want to convert the people that are actively using Poshmark already, because that is more of our shopper base than the guest shopper. We get a few of those,
right? But
it's not really the majority of our sales. So relisting it and getting it back to being a new, fresh item seems to be a great way to drive traffic to your store.
Right, and it also, because I said before, I am being really aggressive. I've pretty much exhausted the likers that I have pretty quickly. I exhaust them within 1 to 2 weeks, really. So I really do need to relist the item so that more people are seeing it, and I'm not pounding on the same likers over and over again. Okay, and so for the last one, if nothing is working for you, right, and you're still noticing low sales, what I've been doing is on Wednesday to Thursday, I've been checking my numbers. If I'm hitting my goal, great, moving on with life, we're just going to keep on going on. If I am not hitting my goal, what I've been doing is running sales. This can look many different ways. Some people will say that the My Shoppers tool is the best way to do it. Some people like offers to likers. I kind of do a mix of both depending on what day it is and how I'm feeling. But what I've been doing is I've been running sales from anywhere from 30 to 50% off, sometimes all of that, in what's called a waterfall sale. But I've been using the My Shoppers tool to send out messages to past buyers. I've used the My Shoppers tool to send out to likers, and then I've also done offers to likers. So I rotate that along the way so that I can kind of capture likers multiple times, but make sure that you're being super aggressive with the likers you have, and don't worry about annoying people. I know people say it's annoying, we don't like all the messages, but retail stores do it for a reason. You get those emails from Loft and American Eagle and all those things all the time. They do it because it works. So why are we any different? Do it. It works. I promise.
Well, it's essentially being your own algorithm, which you say all of the time now. It's kind of well, if I'm slowed down a little bit, I have to do something actively to re-engage and start making those sales so that you're back on the upswing. So if you're falling short of your goals, it's all about doing those things that you can try to jumpstart things back, and manage the things that you can actively control.
Right. Absolutely. So be your own algorithm. Repeat it to yourself over and over again. Be your own algorithm. Don't worry about what the algorithm is doing. Do what you can to control what you can. You know that your items are good. You pick them out for a reason. So now you just need the people to purchase them. So reach out to them, let them know about your sales, and be as aggressive as you can, and try not to feel married to those items. Remember that 300% profit is not necessary. We have the room.
Yeah.
Let's do something about that. But that is everything that is working for us.
If anyone has anything else that they've noticed, we really want you to comment it down and start a discussion over it. We would like to look at anything else that we could be doing to tweak or change to optimize. It's all about coming together, working together to work smarter, not harder. I don't want to have to work longer hours. I want to work more productive time.
Absolutely. So let us know in the comments if this is helpful for you. Let us know what is working, and we will be back really soon with a new video. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you all for watching.